To have you. Welcome and glad to have you here. I'm Dr. Jesse Brown, and this is what I call the Herbal Business Jumpstart 2026. We are close to the beginning of a new year. Yep, just a few months or so away, and in this area, I wanted to share with you some of my experience in what's going on in my life and how health and healing may impact you, and the opportunities you may have in this space as well. Health isn't just personal, it's generational. And some of you may have seen my post saying, talking about the difference between generational wealth and generational health. You can be the healer in your home. We're going to speak about healing, helping, and earning, and making our health and wealth our legacy. How did the journey begin for me? One day when I was in my clinic, I'll say the clinical portion of my of the business, because I'd started studying. I listened to people like Dick Gregory, who was an advocate for health and wellness. He was a vegetarian. He had done fasting, running, a lot of things in the health space, and he popularized this for many people in and across the United States. I listened to him. I listened to his message. I took a couple of classes, and then I started Detroit Holistic Center in 1987. And one day, my mother called me. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and she said, "Your grandfather wants to see you." He had been suffering from colon cancer. He was in pain and had lost a lot of weight and needed help getting up the stairs and into the center. Well, I spoke to him about how he was feeling and what was going on, and I could tell the spirits were really low. A man who was normally really strong, robust, and I mean, one of the strongest people that I knew, even in his elder years, was a a shadow of his former self. I took him into a therapy room, gave him the first colon hydrotherapy. He needed assistance going into the room and getting on the table. Well, after he's finished, he went to the restroom, but in coming out, I could tell he was more mobile. Spoke to him and asked him how he was. And he said, "You saved my life." He said, "I felt so bad when I came in here, I didn't care whether I lived or died." Subsequently, I gave more therapy, and we kind of worked on a program, some things that he could do, but he did end up in the hospital. The cancer was advanced. He was fourth stage, and it was late in the process. The only grandparent that I ever knew passed away in that hospital. Prior to that, I'd had some doubts or question about whether I was on the right path, as this was relatively new to me. But that confirmed it. That gave my work in my life a different sense of meaning. And since then, and after that, I told as many people as I could about colon hydrotherapy and about health and wellness. I shared with, I don't know, probably hundreds of thousands of people through radio and through various means about health and wellness. Every radio broadcast that I could go on, I did it. When the state of Michigan contacted me about their 6-week to wellness program, I went. In the factories, in the churches, in all kinds of places, I'd go there sharing this. I had literature. I wore out some copiers sharing information about digestive health, colon health. There's the expression that um, many people in natural health say. They say disease begins in the colon. Now, disease can begin in the colon, health can begin there as well. So, working with people with digestive health, with their diet, with herbs, um, was what I did, and subsequently my staff did as well. So the call from my mother about my grandfather, and then working with my mother and other family members and people in the community, and seeing them transform, solidified that I was on the right path. Whereas before I was wondering, did I miss my calling? Is this something else that I am supposed to do? I considered going to chiropractic college, but you know, after those types of results and those things happen, um, I changed my mind. I changed my decision about that. I was even in school taking my prerequisites, getting ready to go away to chiropractic college, but relatively few people turned into thousands and tens of thousands. And I know that over more than 32 years, we saw over 60,000 people. We saw generations of people. The impact in Detroit and in the greater, not only the greater Detroit metropolitan area, but people would come from Ohio, they come from Indiana, people traveled to train and study with me. So I knew there was a great need that was being unfulfilled. I had met some of the healers and some of the people who were I'll say I call them my holistic ancestry or my holistic lineage. Many of those people were towards the end of their career, kind of aging out, retiring, or expiring. And they had been doing some training, but I knew that somebody needed to carry that on. The health disparities, if we look at our condition, today, we know that people of color in particular and people in underserved communities get sicker sooner and die faster than in other communities. And something needs to be done about that. And the healthcare system isn't doing that. It's a sick care system, as many people have described. It doesn't prevent us from being sick. And it doesn't really heal us well. The food in the hospitals and the protocols and whatnot are not exactly what we need. So my take on this has been that we need healers in every home, in every family, in every community, in every workplace, in every church, and in place of worship as well. We need healing to be where people are. We need the average person to understand what to do about their health, because otherwise we know more about our cars, our clothes, and how to take care of our homes. There are people who can go into great detail about sports and politics and all types of things when we're only given one body to take care of. And then if we have children, then we are granted the privilege of carrying them into what we would hope would be a better life. And the essential element, the key there is we want them to stay alive and to be sick. And any of us who have had children, especially, or have cared for nieces or nephews or even the elderly, we know that it's like, you've got to work, you got to be attentive in order to help this person through if they do face illness. Every community once did have healers. It was my mother learned how to use castor oil, cod liver oil, and give us enemas and those things from her aunts, from her, I believe, grandmother, and the women in her family. And that was a common thing in my neighborhood and in my community a couple of generations or so ago. Our ancestors healed with herbs, with food, with utilizing nature. But somewhere along the lines, we end up looking at that as being old wives' tales and not carrying on that wisdom. So there's an opportunity to heal, for us to take the responsibility for our own healing and to help to share that with other people. That's where the transformation is. To learn natural methods to restore balance, to understand the role of food, the role of herbs, the role of touch, the role of prayer, the role of all methods of utilizing nature in our, as well as our individual gifts, our gifts of being able to listen and to hear someone, on a deep level and connect with them, so that part of them that wants to heal, that wants to overcome, so that's supported, and that's not being done in the system. Okay. We also are promoting and learning about I would say, with our natural, affordable solutions for health. Everyone doesn't have health insurance. I know a lot of people do, and we don't know what's going to happen from administration to administration. But we can't rely on a system that we are not controlling. We can't rely on a system that sees us as different, that treats us differently, that has worse health outcomes for people of color than others. And really, we should be the standard bearers when it comes to health and wellness. We should be the ones that are the healthiest, not just the people who play sports, but people in color in general. The healthiest people came from Africa, were brought here, not the weakest people. So we should be the healthiest. So there's a signal, there's something that is a really alarming signal that's saying, if people of color that should be the healthiest are the sickest, are representing more chronic ailments and such, that should be alarming for everyone. So we do right by, I'll say, the underserved and people of color. It's not only going to save money in the healthcare system, but it's going to be better for everyone, because solutions that'll work for people of color are solutions that'll work for other people as well. So over the past 30 years or so, I have seen a lot of things and situations. And typically, what I've seen and what I've heard is, especially when someone gets into their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, and beyond, it invariably, these elders would say, I wish I would have known about this earlier. If I would have known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care. But again, our system is not set up to do that. But it can happen in the home. It can happen if we have at least one person who's in the home, or at least close by, a family member, a loved one, who knows what to do and takes care of, I'll say in particular, our elderly, our young too, but then to our elderly. And you don't have to be a doctor. And especially with technology, you don't have to go to medical school and spend years and do the clinicals and the boards and those things in order to understand the role of food, the role of herbs, how to nurture people, how to utilize these natural, we call them holistic methods for helping people to achieve a sense of balance. So, if you're not familiar with the Holistic Training Institute, the Holistic Training Institute has been licensed by the state of Michigan for a long time, and has a curriculum. They had courses and programs designed to help people learn these ways that otherwise could be lost. Learn these ways again that are affordable, that are accessible, that are effective, and that will complement, it'll be alternative to or complement what we have available medically. I still believe in going to the doctor, get the blood test, get the x-rays or the CAT scans and those things. Some things not too much, okay? We don't want too much exposure to radiation, some things, but we understand that someone needs to assess us. Someone needs to assess where we're at, what is going on with us, so we can address it. Okay, you can't address high blood pressure or diabetes or certain conditions if you don't know that they even exist. You can't apply a natural method to them if you don't even know that they exist. So someone mentioned earlier that in a number of the hospitals and clinics, they're incorporating some holistic modalities. Why is that? That's because people are demanding. It's because people are questioning, what's the root cause? Is there something else I can do besides take this drug? They're asking about the medications. They're learning about the damaging effects that these medications, these procedures and surgery and everything has on people. And as well as being aware of the disparities, the errors, the overdoses or deaths and injuries from medicine, even when it was properly prescribed. So in all that I've done, my mission is still to help train healers in every home and engage people to share what they learn with other people in their community, so it becomes a part of our culture. So our culture is not one of a drug culture. We can go from drug dealers to healers, where we understand what to do. That becomes more commonplace, and that becomes our choice. And then our healthcare system does transform as well. Little information on kind of the statistics behind this as well. In the natural products arena, there are, we're spending, I'll say as a nation, about $300 billion in natural products. Okay, and that's growing exponentially. And in less than a decade, that number is expected to grow to over 400 billion by approximately 2030. But the question is, are we just going to consume, or are we going to be part of the solution? Are we going to be part of the mechanism that that utilizes these products, that utilizes nutrients and all manner of healing? And are we going to benefit from the profits from that, which can be philanthropic and contribute to eradicating the harms and the illnesses in our communities? That's where the opportunity is. So when I talk about an herbal business jumpstart transformation opportunity, it's, I would say, imagine us being healthy. Imagine us representing the healthiest people, not only in the United States, in the world, because we're making different choices. Imagine us prospering in our communities. Many of the crimes that we're seeing, much of the violence that we're seeing, is as a result of a drug culture. And a lot of that drug culture has been supported because people had an injury or something, and they went to the doctor and they got they got a medication and they got addicted to that, and then they go to street drugs. Drugs, alcohol, tobacco, the vices, the many of the problems that we have would not exist if there were not profits in it. So we got to change that and make health and wellness beneficial, profitable, desirable. We have to create an environment and opportunities where people can support themselves, their family members, be rewarded by healthy habits, healthy behaviors, health businesses too. When I started Detroit Holistic Center and grew it, there was not a similar, there were other people who had done holistic things, don't get me wrong there, but that expanded substantially. And because I saw there were so many people who were looking for answers, where again, people were traveling to come to the center. But we don't just need centers, we need people who are doing any number of things. So the most popular and in-demand area is herbs, and probably the easiest to learn and have access to as well. So as we go forward, I am providing more and more classes online. So there are few opportunities. As one is I share more content online. I'm also sharing PDFs, guides, and information that people can grasp so they can utilize something immediately, as well as trainings that will help people to transform from perhaps not knowing about health and wellness. And I'm asking you to, by the way, those of you signing in, to take the poll, but take people from perhaps a beginning level of knowledge about herbs and health and wellness and holistic methodology to one where they can not only help themselves, they can help their loved ones in their communities as well. And for those who are really interested, really committed, for them to have a career that supports themselves, a lucrative and financially lucrative career by having major impact. There are millions of people that need this information. There are millions of people who not only need the information, but they need the application too. They need someone to be there to guide them, to help them, especially when they're early on their journey, so that they can get in the habit of being healthy. The people who have come to me saying they have a hard time being plant-based or eating differently, a lot of that can be remedied, and is remedied when they have support. When they have support, when they have other people who are also eating plant-based or preparing foods differently. When they have instruction on how to do that, when they have the assurance that they can be healthy, they can be vibrant, they can be more healthy, having a different diet, a diet that's not based around meat, sweets, and processed foods. When they have the encouragement, when they have the support, when they have options and access to these things, that's when people change. It typically takes at least two people in a household or two people who are close in order for people to be successful. I've seen this in the gym, where it's like, if one person signs up at the gym, they say, okay, I'm going to get on this regimen. Sometimes they do okay, and other times they don't. But if they have at least one person who's committed, so that when they don't feel like going to the gym, when they don't feel like working out or something, then that person's going to say, come on, we committed to this. We said we're going to do this 30 days, this 60 days, this 90 days. We said we're going to stick to this until we reach a particular goal. They've got at least one person there. Now, if they are 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or a club or a group or community, then guess what? Their success, basically, if they participate, their success is practically guaranteed. The more support you have, the more success that you have. They say it takes, what do they say? It takes a village to raise a child. But guess what? We're all a child in something. We're all beginning somewhere. We're in our infancy or early stage. And when the entire village gets involved, then guess what? Then people can thrive. If you look at the transformation that's happened, if you look at the changes, if you look at the disruption that happens in society, it's because people come together for a worthy cause. And it fuels them. When one candle lights another, it loses nothing. So people are lighting somebody else's candle, lighting another candle, and then you have illumination. And we need illumination in this generation, in this time, that transforms our health. Okay. So this is what's happening. So when I'm having this call, there will be other calls where I'll be sharing information about health and wellness in various topics. I've done it on weight loss and blood pressure and some other things. Those things will be going on a regular basis, but I also want you to join us on the Holistic Training Institute page. There'll be another call similar to this on the 25th of October at 11 a.m. as well. So look for that. So like the Holistic Training Institute page. Some people I know you find us on Instagram and some of the other medium. Like and follow and share the content that I produce. Okay, there are some things that are on YouTube as well that will be happening more so. And for those people again who want to take the next level, the next step, the next stage, I want you to do a couple things, and that's one, to fill out this survey and the information there. Two, send your email. In fact, send your email to us and say, I'm in. I want to know. As long as I'm here, as long as I'm available, and until I officially retire, I want to teach as many people as possible and teach people who are going to teach other people as well. We can have, and we should have, generational health, not just generational wealth. If you leave money to your children, grandchildren, to whatever cause, you don't know what's going to happen with that. It could be spent, it could be blown, it could be abused or whatever. But generational health is priceless, because that means that us knowing and being able to look forward a bit, we know that the rate of diabetes, especially amongst children, is increasing. We know the rates of heart disease and many illnesses are going to impact people and generations that we don't even know right now. We do something now and we let the world know, we let our community know for now and for the future that we consider this to be important, that it wasn't just about partying and drinking and cars and what we got for our birthday or holidays or something, but we can demonstrate, and demonstration is powerful for future generations, that this is important. Okay. And so whatever your line of work, whatever you're doing, guess what? You can incorporate something healthy into it. Okay, if you own a business, you can incorporate some healthy aspect into it. Okay, if you work at a corporation, you can probably incorporate something there as well, encourage a program. And where you worship, wherever you are, I want you to stand in alliance with me and collaborate with me in the Holistic Training Institute to bring this into institutions, to bring this into churches. There's a class, a few classes that I do. One is called Herbs of the Bible. Another is Healing Secrets from Scriptures. Okay. And another is working out with the Word, so that we can get to where people are at and where people have need, to create change and, again, a supportive atmosphere that makes a difference. there's some elements that are necessary and that are when in place, they will make a major difference in the lives of people and institutions. And that is when we solve problems in ways that support and sustain the planet and do the least harm to the planet, that are principled, profitable, and philanthropic, it's wins for everybody. The way the world is going, we can't rely on our government. We can't rely on system. We can't rely on anybody else to be the change that we want to see in the world. Okay. So again, so I want you to do a few things. That's one, I want you to take the survey for those people who are in our Zoom room. I want you to do that. Two, I want you to connect with us, Holistic Training Institute. Some people are connected to me through the Jesse R. Brown or the Jesse Brown page, but the Holistic Training Institute, WHOLISTIC Training Institute page, announcements of these calls and such will be announced there. Things I do in the community will be announced there. You can reach me through there in regards to coming to your church or your organization or something, having a call with your group, do that. And of course, for those people who say, I want to take this to the next level, I want to get trained, I want to understand what to do for myself and my loved ones, or I want to do this professionally. I want to make an impact. Okay. I want to make an impact and income from this. And I put the two together. There are some people who feel a little uncomfortable about the income portion, but that supports us in our ability to do more and to impact more people. If it wasn't for Detroit Holistic Center in the way we operate in having, services and products and the educational component, okay, we wouldn't be. I don't know that we would have gotten to 60,000 plus. Okay. And I know as many more people than that, even internationally, when I did radio for 9 years. Okay. There's as Dick Gregory said, we got a big job, but there's also a big opportunity. Okay. I'm going to pause right there. For those people in the room, you see WTI co-host, you can message her. But we need to capture your information. The website, did you put the website information in? You probably put the website information in. That's Caroline. But the website information is in there. It'll connect you to some of the courses. But I want to speak to you directly as well. I want to speak to you about who you are, what you're doing, what you want to learn, so that we can support you on your path. Okay, I'm going to open this portion up for the next few minutes or so for classes. You have an option of either, if you're in the room, to text, to put in chat questions, or raise your hand and I'll recognize you and you can come off mic and ask your question. And for those of you who are on Facebook Live, do me a favor and text your your questions, I guess, in the chat or something here. Let's see. Here's a way to. Okay. Anyway, I'm navigating between the two here. Okay, we got Toilet in the room as well, coming in. Questions? Do I have a hand up or anything in the chat? Let's see. Assistant website, very good. And again, remember on the 25th, so same different sign-in. So you'll need to connect through the Holistic Training Institute or my page or something for the sign-in for the 25th. But I'll have something on the 25th. And I will also be doing a training before the beginning of the year. Now, there's a class going on. Actually, there's a class going on right now for people who are going to get trained, certified, and become practitioners. That's going on as we speak. But there will be another training that will occur in November for those people who will be doing who will be doing something going into the new year. Okay, and again, I ask you to take the survey. It's called the Herbal Awareness Poll, and this focusing on herbs. Now, Holistic Training Institute will be offering classes, homeopathy, herbs, essential oils, and some other areas. However, this is focused on the area we get the most inquiries about, which are medicinal herbs, how to use medicinal herbs. What do we cover? What are medicinal herbs? How to identify them? What do they do? How do you use them? What part of the plant that you use? How you do make different preparation methods? Teas, tinctures, extracts, salves, ointments, those types of things, how those things are made. Now, some people are going to be doing those at home. Other people, for others, you want to know how those things are made and understand good quality sources. One of my former staff actually contacted me last evening. They said, Dr. Brown, where do you get your X product from? What about this and that? Because they know that I'm looking into the companies. Did they test it? It was a third-party testing. Does it have in it what it is supposed to have that helps to heal us? And how do you apply that? Okay. So a lot of that you can learn. I just can't give you the heart of the healer. Okay. And some people do have the heart to do this work. So, and again, questions, anything pop up in chat. If there's something that I missed, I'm asking Carlene to help me with that. Otherwise, any hands up, you know where the reaction symbol is there. Okay. Hearing none. Okay. So a copy of this will be made available as well. Again, now, holistictraininginstitute.com is the website. You can also reach me at holisticguru@gmail.com. That's WHOLISTICGURU@gmail.com. That's the one that I answer and respond to most readily. Okay. Again, we're here to leave a legacy of health and wellness. Nanette, you're on. You want to unmute yourself? You got a question?
The chat is closed. It's disabled.
Is it? Okay. Let's see if I can adjust that. Did you have a question? Carlene, can you take a look at that? I don't know if that's in a setting that I can. Oh, okay. Try it now. Let me see if that works.
Okay, it's working now. But my question,
yes.
My question was, are there grants or financial assistance available for your classes? $500, it is a little bit much for me right now.
Good question. And there will be offerings that are less than 500. Okay. So, yeah, there are some things that are there. There are actually some freebies, some PDFs, and supportive materials. There will be some other, I'll say, mini courses that will be less than that, or something less than certification. Good question. Get in touch. Let me know what you're interested in. Is there is it herbs that you're interested in, healing, getting on a healing journey, or what?
All of the above.
All of the above. Very good. Okay.
I would also like to know, is there a fee for you to come and do a class for my church or my church group?
Yes. So when I do, for example, that healing herbs of the Bible and such, there are fees attached to that. Yes.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. And so, yeah, and you're going to send me an email, I
I
assume.
can. I can.
And Carlene, if you can put that email in the chat as well, especially since it's an unusual spelling with the W for holistic. Okay. And again, and there's opportunity for all of you. And over the years, it's like I've done a lot. State of Michigan, UAW. I've gone into a lot of places and spaces, and especially things are more open than they were in 2020. And not being in the clinic 6 days a week or so um, opens things up for me to have more interaction with the community. So there'll be more community events and me coming out um, to you in the community as well. So, but the key is keeping in touch. The key is keeping connected. I won't be doing this forever. I may not be in Detroit forever until I retire, but I am here and available now, and I want to train people so that we can carry on this legacy of healing. All right. So there's another opportunity. If you did not respond to the poll, I'm going to ask you to please do that. Holding things open a little bit. I said we're going to be from about 11, 12. But if you can answer the questions on the poll, that helps me to develop training programs, understand who's in the room, what people want, what their needs are, what their level of awareness is, etc. So that helps us programming with curriculum, courses, and such through the Holistic Training Institute. And thank you, Nanette, because I know there are people who are like they're beginning and they're like, so they might not be ready for a certification class or something that's more involved, but they could do a 1 or 2 day, a mini course, and I can do that. Love to do that because we can have impact in terms of some things that people can do immediately to make a difference in their life and the lives of their loved ones. I enjoy doing that. I love speaking with people. This is okay on Zoom here. However, I love to see you face to face and love to meet people in groups and share what I've learned and have experienced that helps communities, that helps places of worship, that will help us to heal individually, collectively, as a community. All right. So imagine that. Imagine, our future generation, not just here, but future generations being much healthier than we are. Okay. Do we have any questions on the? I think you can respond by chat. If there's someone who's over here, I'm on Facebook Live over here. Someone has a question or comment. And then for those people here, for those people who are on here, if you came to Detroit Holistic Center, can you raise your hand? Can you raise your hand, give you a thumbs up or a clap or something? Let me know. I know some people are totally new to it. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that is it. The poll will be closing in. Good. I can.
Where's the poll?
The
That's Nanette. I'm sorry.
Nanette. The poll. Carlene, where is the poll? I mean, because it shows up for me, a way. I think it would pop up on your screen. Are you on your phone or are you on?
I'm on my phone on Zoom.
Okay. Okay. Who else is on their phone on Zoom? You can see.
I'm also online on my computer. I'm looking at your webpage and it only shows 3 courses, $500 each. Where are your mini courses
Oh, okay.
or just the free classes? I watch you on Facebook Live sometimes, but
Okay.
I wanted to see more.
I think you're seeing the featured courses. Let me adjust that.
Okay, no
I
problem.
mean, it's one person who helps me with tech. I'm subject matter expert. Sometimes the tech is a little slow.
I understand.
But
I'm with you on that.
okay, gotcha. Okay, I see that. Okay, yeah. So I'll make sure. In fact, I'll go in today, and I'll look in there and see where there the PDFs, mini courses, those types of things that are less that are affordable and available. Thanks for calling that to my attention. Okay. All right. So Carlene, you were going to answer if someone's looking at this on Zoom. By the way, if you'd have to be on Zoom. It's not the survey or poll is not available on Facebook Live. So it is on Zoom. But Carlene, did you have an answer?
Actually, Miss Nanette ended up asking her question pertaining to the online courses, so it's okay.
Yeah, that was the question, but I was asking about where people want to see the poll.
Poll should automatically pop up on your screen. Um, it's right there. But because I'm not on my phone, so I cannot
Yeah, I thought she
really
said she was on a computer as well. Okay.
on the computer it should just pop
I'm
up, right?
watching I'm watching you on Zoom on my phone, but I have your .com on my computer, which is right in front of me too. So should I go to Zoom on my computer because I'm not seeing a
If you
poll?
yeah, if you did, you'd be able to see the poll.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of go over this with those of you here. So of the people who have responded to the poll, I'd say so a couple people are beginners, other people are intermediate. Uh, people are, let's see, most people are using um, medicinal herbs regularly for health and wellness. Okay, just one person, yes, but occasionally, and uh, they're people say they're either extremely or very interested in learning more about how to use herbs effectively. High blood pressure was one of the concerns. Immune system support is another. Almost everyone said they're very concerned about the quality of the products and the teas, extracts, and salves. People have interest in that. Mostly tea. Well, teas and 100% fluid extracts are leading. And then, yeah, more than half said that they know people have had adverse reactions from prescription or over-counter drugs. And then some people say they're interested in online courses. One person said they're interested in online courses. Everybody else said they want in-person workshops. Okay. That means I'm gonna have to do some more in-person workshops. Okay, I'll come out into the community. I'm not scared.
Next time, can you ask us to rank in order? Because I wanted to choose between that and Zoom. Like it can be equal for me, but since we can only choose one.
You say equal, what can be equal to?
Like
when it comes to
because it was only one choice, like
online or in between online and in person, you wanted to see Zoom broken out separately? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying we can only choose whether we want it in person or online, where I actually like a combination of both, but since you only gave one choice, I chose in person.
Okay.
Where
Gotcha.
depending on what it is, if you need in person, you know what I'm saying? Like if it would have asked us to rank it, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You would know where
Gotcha.
people land a little better.
And I can adjust that. That's an easy adjustment.
Yeah.
Thanks for that feedback. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm feeding it.
Yeah.
Are
And
you
when
interested in
winter, we probably more prone to want to do Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some things it'll be hybrid, where, for example, we can get to a certain point online. And then, for example, especially when it comes to hands-on training or something that we demonstrate, it's like, okay, how do you make that extract, or how do you make a ointment or something like that? Then you might want to not only see it, but do it.
Yep. I like that.
With the therapies, when I taught colon hydrotherapy or reflexology or something like that, a portion of that was clinical and we had to do hands-on. With herbs, save the preparation methods, a lot of those things, can go on screen. People can refer back to it, the audio, the video, etc. So some things will be hybrid, but thanks for that feedback. I'll make that adjustment. And so everyone said they're very interested in herbal knowledge for their community, personal health, been interested for a while. Thank you. Okay. All right. So we're at 12:15. I'm going to conclude it there. And let's see if there are pressing questions or something you need to reach for me about, then Carlene, did your hand go up?
Yes. According to Nanette, a number 4 does not allow multiple selections. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So 2 of them will be adjusted. Okay. Looking forward. Got it. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's a quick fix. Okay. Thank you. And thank you for the feedback. One, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for your participation. Again, you know how to get, giving you at least an opportunity to be in touch with me as well. You can also even put in the chat your contact information. But either way, don't be like some who say, after I've retired and gone on or whatever, somebody said, I always wanted to study with you, Dr. Brown. I always wanted to learn this, but whatever, time or whatever got in the way. I'm still getting calls from, in regards to Detroit Holistic Center. We've been closed for 5 years. Don't let that be the case with the education, because in 5 years, I'm out of here. Okay, thanks everybody for being on, whether you're on here online, and I know some people just came on there too. Contact information, holistic guru at gmail.com or DetroitHolisticCenter.com. Thank you all for being on. We'll be on again on the 25th, so look up on the pages, and my pages and Holistic Training Institute. Thank you, and until next time.
Thank you.
My pleasure.